Hello, it's Kari Cordi. It is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016. Well, even though I'm still waiting for crab season to begin, and there's that stress. Cloud my tits. Anyway, since I'm still waiting for that and there's the stress of the money, I have until the 18th next month to pay my rent, so I have that time, and I just paid my phone bill. So that's really good. Another month. Another month. So that helps. But, having good friends that you can talk to and be with, be around, that helps me a lot. When I have these times that are so uncertain, I'm on the verge of really, really good shit could happen, and I could get financially stable in a real short time. For a short time, too. Because it's not a lot of money, but it is. For somebody that does work like I do, it's a lot. And I need that. I need to be able to think that I could pay 2 months of rent at once if I didn't if I had to. If I had to. So I'm happy. That's what I'm getting at. Is I'm happy. I recently got in contact with a girl that I was friends with from high school, and we had met his sophomore year, and we became friends, and it wasn't ever close friends, hang out, whatever. We had several classes together, and we're always friendly, and it's and it went a little deeper than that, like senior year. But anyway, we got back in touch and got to talk, and then yet once again, how blind I was in my old life, how big that disconnect was, is um, she had a crush on me too, and I always kind of thought so. When I thought about it years later, high school, I don't know. Then to have that confirmed, and to look back on my life, and especially now coming to terms with my sexuality, I I understand why I couldn't see. What it was is women were these untouchable angelic creatures that I couldn't attain to. I couldn't measure up to. And so, with that in the way, I was really great friends with women. I always have been. But anything past that was just me on the wrong side. The wrong side of that duality, that coupling, to use another word. So I was talking with a friend yesterday, and in the middle of the conversation, he said, "Kari, your voice." And it took half a second for me to kind of realize, because I thought he said that I was swearing too much, around his kids, whatever. And And it hit me, and I just lit up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I hate doing that." And I just lit up, and it's like, I thanked him. It's like, that's exactly what I was wanting. And coming from somebody you trust, a friend that you really trust isn't doing anything to hurt you, or that's what it is. I want to say other things, but trust that they won't hurt you. That's what I need, because it is a workout doing my voice, and there's a natural aspect to it, but it's working out muscles that I really haven't worked out. And the more you do something like this, the more natural it becomes. And I don't like that verge of bass that I get, that gravelly. I don't like that. But the smoking really, really doesn't help. I really should get rid of it. And the one thing that I like about this voice is I haven't practiced projecting yet. And it's just being self-conscious and having people hear something that's not perfect and maybe really weird. That's another hard trust issue with me. So this friend that from high school, we got to talking, and funny, it's funny how life goes. And she laughed and at one point, and it's like, yeah, you do kind of act like a teenager, a teenage girl sometimes, because we talked for a long time. And she's got a daughter in her late teens, and it's just really funny. The second puberty, and this one's the right one. That I was thinking about. I've talked before a testosterone based system that is meant a brain that is wired for an estrogen based system. I know I've talked about that, but I was thinking of a different way to put it. And like anything, when you're not really super concentrating on it, that's when the answer kind of comes and something hits you. The epiphany, as it will. As it were. Um, what it is with the whole way of thinking, to use some materials from stand-up comedians, is you don't understand where the woman is. Well, you should know why I'm mad, and remembering the instance where that whatever comedic situation, and the guy forgets. And it's funny because I know the male end of that, but my brain has always been wired for the other, and I've always reacted to everything female. But the estrogen really allows the emotions to come into things. But on top of that, it's to stand back from um, the scientific way, the fight or flight. There's a decision that needs to be made, and the reaction from women, because it's an estrogen based system and it's a brain that is wired completely female. There's a difference between female brains and male brains, down to its basic cores. And so now that my system, my brain doesn't have this wall of testosterone that's blocking the way, because testosterone, upon the instance where you need a decision, testosterone will force that decision. It needs immediate reaction. And so when I have the instinct in the brain to sit back and consider my emotions and consider other things around and then make a decision, having that immediate chemical make the decision, having that being forced upon you is really, really fucked up and hard. And it's like the burden you don't realize is there until it starts to go away. And that's what this is. It's starting to go away and to become settled with my body, which is a huge part of it. When I look at my body when nobody else is around, and what I see, what is changing, because with the hormones, men on the let me do this on the because there's the hip joint, and there's where men typically get the love handles. And so right where the belt is, men will gain weight between these two sections, and the love handle gets to right here. But with women, the weight is gained here. And the weight for me has been lost here. And so I'm getting more of the hourglass on top of the weight, the fat deposits on top of the lats. Which is, with a man, you're going to get the fat deposits more where the muscles are, rather than with the female, it's the area. So anyway, so I'm getting more of an hourglass figure. So my hips and ass, the fat is depositing in these areas, and along with the breasts are growing. I've always had fat over my pectorals, and it was like well-shaped fat kind of thing. It didn't always look like fat, but it was from what I've always thought, it was the result of having naturally low testosterone, really low testosterone for a male, and high estrogen. So there's always been that little bit, and thank God, because that means I wasn't extra male. God, calm down, Jesus. So I really am thankful for that. Hey, ow! God! I've been paying attention to you all day. Come on, go outside or something. So, and even with my face, you can see from the videos that the way that the weight is just distributed in my face and throughout my body changes. And that's one of the things that takes 2 to 4 years to just fully kind of change to the way it's going to get. My skin becomes softer. My pores are always going to be the same size, but I don't remember the direction, but it takes from a more oily to a something like that. It goes from one type to the other with male to female, and it turns out to be a bit of a benefit if I'm remembering right. And so, it's the give and take with life. You can get some really good skin, but the thing is you had to go through a male puberty to get it, so you have those male skeletal features. And the things, like the Adam's apple, which happens with the puberty, and what is it, the cartilage growth or something like that. Oh, so the more that the physical happens, and the more that I get my voice to where it needs to be, and the more that my mind settles, the more that it settles. Yeah, I'm thankful I can see both sides, and I can talk to my friends, and when, they have relationship stuff, and I can kind of see both sides of an issue. I'm not always right, God, but I'm grateful. Well, I gotta get doing dishes. So, good day. We'll see what the rest brings. Talk to you later.